What if I told you the China tariffs you see in headlines today were written in history books a century ago? Back then, America thought tariffs were the answer to economic chaos. Today, the same strategy is making a comeback. Only the players have changed, and the stakes are now global. But what happened the last time America waged a full-scale tariff war? And are we simply walking a well-worn path without realizing it? Let's zoom out for a moment. Right now, tensions between the US and China are at their peak. From semiconductors to electric vehicles, tariffs are being used as weapons in an economic standoff. Under Trump, tariffs hit over $360 billion worth of Chinese goods. Biden hasn't reversed most of them, and new ones could be coming soon. On the surface, it feels like a tough, modern strategy, a way to counter a rising global rival. But underneath lies a chillingly familiar pattern, one that started nearly 100 years ago, driven by the same fears and followed by massive fallout. Are today's China tariffs the next chapter in an old story? Or is history just rhyming again? Let's rewind the reel and find out what history really has to say. To understand today's China tariffs, we need to travel back to 1930. The US economy was reeling from the stock market crash of 1929. In a desperate move to protect American jobs and businesses, Congress passed the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. It raised import taxes on over 20,000 foreign goods. The idea? Force Americans to buy local and keep money circulating at home. But instead of recovery, the global economy spiraled. US trading partners retaliated with their own tariffs. World trade collapsed by nearly 70%. The Great Depression went from bad to catastrophic. Smoot-Hawley didn't just fail economically, it fractured international trust. Allies turned inward. Global cooperation evaporated. And while it didn't cause World War II, historians agree it helped create the instability that made it possible. Sound familiar? Fast forward to today, and you'll hear the same rationale. Protect domestic industries, counter foreign unfairness, restore balance. But the warning signs are there. Retaliation, slowing global trade, rising economic nationalism. We've seen this movie before, and it didn't end well. The question now isn't just economic, it's historical. Are we ignoring a lesson we already paid dearly to learn? Tariffs once felt like a relic of old-school economics, until they didn't. In 2018, the US reignited the trade war playbook. Under President Trump, sweeping tariffs were imposed on Chinese steel, aluminum, tech products, and consumer goods. China hit back fast, dollar for dollar, targeting American agriculture, cars, and energy exports. What followed wasn't just a standoff. It was a full-blown trade war. The global economy wobbled, stock markets dipped, supply chains twisted into chaos, prices rose. And yet, despite the disruption, the strategy stuck. When Biden took office, many expected a rollback. Instead, most tariffs stayed. Some even expanded. A bipartisan consensus had quietly formed. China is the rival, and tariffs are a weapon. But here's the twist. Just like in the 1930s, other nations began re-evaluating their trade policies. Economic nationalism surged, protectionism spread, and global institutions built to promote cooperation started showing cracks. It's not just about China anymore. The ripple effects are global and growing. We've entered a new era that looks suspiciously like the old one. Tariffs aren't just tools of economic policy. They're symbols of a bigger ideological shift. The big question now? What's the long-term cost of this déjà vu? History doesn't just repeat, it warns. Economists and historians have studied tariff wars like case files. And the pattern? Always the same. Short-term political wins, long-term economic pain. In the 1930s, Smoot-Hawley didn't save American jobs. It accelerated job losses. Global trade didn't rebalance. It collapsed. The same economists who now analyze today's tariffs point to eerily similar warning signs: rising prices, retaliatory policies, supply disruptions, and eroding alliances. So why do we keep going back? Partly because tariffs are easy to sell politically. They sound strong, patriotic, simple. But the reality is messy. American consumers pay higher prices. Exporters lose markets. Tensions rise. Cooperation dies. Even now, the ripple effects are hitting industries that never expected to be part of a trade war. Tech, green energy, medicine. Allies are frustrated. Emerging economies are choosing sides. What history teaches us, if we're willing to listen, is that protectionism often protects nothing. It isolates, escalates, and backfires. And yet, despite knowing all this, here we are again. The playbook hasn't changed, only the cast has. And that begs the question, if we know how the story ends, why are we still writing the same script? So are we repeating history? Maybe not step for step. But the echoes are undeniable. Tariffs used as weapons, economic nationalism rising, global cooperation fraying. We've seen this pattern before, and we paid the price. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act didn't just deepen the Great Depression, it triggered a global chain reaction. Today the risks are different, but just as real. We're in a world more connected, more fragile. One policy shift doesn't stay local. It ripples, fast. Tariffs might feel like a quick fix, but the long-term cost? We've been shown that already. Jobs lost, trust broken, progress reversed. And yet, here we are. New century, old tools, new rivalry, same strategy. Maybe history doesn't repeat word for word, but it rhymes loudly. And if we're not listening, we'll miss the chance to do better this time around. The question isn't just, will this work? It's, what have we already learned, and are we ignoring it? If you found this breakdown eye-opening, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos that connect the dots between past and present. Because understanding history isn't just about the past. It's about making smarter moves in the now.